Right. My name is Jordan Jones, and I'm from Vulcan, Alberta. I was born in St. John, New Brunswick, though. So when I was 6 months old, me, my mom, and my dad, and my sister all got in a car and we drove to Calgary. And we ended up living with my aunt for a bit, and then we ended up getting our own place. And then my sister went to kindergarten in Calgary for a year, and my mom did not like it because she started getting bullied and stuff. And so um, we ended up moving to Vulcan. I don't know how my parents found that place, Vulcan of all places, right in the middle of Lethbridge and Calgary. It's the home of Star Trek. If anyone likes Star Trek here, and hit up Vulcan, or in the Vulcan, yeah. Growing up in a small town is actually kind of nice because you know everyone, and you don't have to deal with too much like you do in the city. Little town life is, I think, the way to go. I'd like to start a family in a little town, to be honest, more than a big city, but that's just my preference. So my family, I have a brother actually out in Nova Scotia. He's my half brother. He's my dad's son, and he's a fisherman. And I have a sister. She's in the criminal justice here in Lethbridge College. It's their second year here. And my mom and dad, of course, live in Vulcan, and my dad's a trucker. And my mom works in the school, the high school, and the little school now, out in Vulcan. And so sports I played growing up, I played a lot of hockey. And playing hockey in Vulcan is like the biggest thing you can do because it's such a little town, and nobody. Well, I mean, everybody really knows you have to play hockey, and like midget, that's the highest. That's when everyone comes and watches you, and you play in front of a big crowd. Like every Friday night, we'd have the whole town come, and the place would be packed, and it was really awesome. I remember playing in a playoff game, and people were coming the night before and reserving their seats just so they could get a seat. It was that big. It was sweet. Sports really taught me how to be a team player. I was a goalie in hockey, so I didn't really get into too much teamwork, but I was still involved in the play most of the time, and it really gave me a competitive side to myself. I showed my competitive side myself, and I'm a very competitive person. I found that out while playing hockey. And my biggest accomplishment in life would probably be all the banners I won in hockey. We won 7. Banners is like a championship, and that's the biggest accomplishment in my life. My dream as a kid was to work for a sports team. It was never really to be a big athlete because I just knew it was a slim chance. So just working with a sports team was my biggest dream. And as the years went on, I started watching TSN and Sportsnet and watching guys like Bob McKenzie and Darren Dreger and Barry Davis and stuff, guys like that. And I just thought they were the coolest guys. They got to talk about sports every day, all day. They got to interact with those sports teams, and like Barry Davis, he works exclusively with the Blue Jays in the MLB, and I just think that's the coolest thing, and I want to be able to do that. And when I was a little kid, about 5, I'd be watching sports with my dad, and he'd be sitting with me, and he'd be like, "Yeah, this guy had 120 RBI in 1987. He was crazy, and this guy scored 50 goals in the NHL," and it just stuck with me. And the amount he knew about sports amazed me, and I wanted to be better than him. So as years went on, I started picking up hockey and baseball more, and now I'll tell him stuff that he didn't even know, and it's from guys in his age. and he didn't even know about. And he always says that I'm crazy, like, because the amount of stuff I know about sports. Someone who inspires me is like the people I said, Barry Davis with the Blue Jays, and Darren Dreger and Bob McKenzie, because they really showed me what I wanted to do in life, and I think that was a really big thing, and knowing what you want to do in life. In 10 years from now, I want to see myself working. I know it's a big dream, but I've had this dream since I was little, and I'm gonna work to accomplish it, and that's why I'm here. And I'm gonna be working with a sports news distributor company. I wanna be like Darren Dreger and Bob McKenzie. I keep saying those guys, but they're my dream. I want to be like that. And some people might think I'm crazy for wanting to do that, but that's what I want to do. The toughest time of my life was probably when, I'm not going to get emotional here, but when my cousin, she got murdered by her boyfriend. That was 3 years ago, I do believe. Yeah. It really showed me what the world is really like, and it's an awful feeling, thinking that the world is not the place that you thought it was. You keep hearing stuff like today. Actually, you hear about that little girl and her dad. They were both murdered out in Blairmore, and so whenever I hear of someone getting murdered, I always think of their family and how they feel, because the way I felt with my cousin being murdered by her own boyfriend, it's just awful. And he ended up getting charged with first-degree murder, which is amazing, but it doesn't really heal those wounds. It's just crazy. And that brings me to why I want to take this program. Also, if I don't want to be if I can't get to being a sports analyst or something, I want to get distributing news and really talking about people who've lost loved ones, and I just stuff like that. And that's it.